Hey Divas, welcome and welcome back. It's your girl Keisha here with another video. And today we are going to be setting up Paycheck 1 for the month of May. So if you like sinking funds, cash stuffing, budgeting, plan with me, organization, planning, every and all the things that have to do with your money, girl, I would love for you to subscribe, but more importantly, don't move. All right, Diva. Well, if you haven't seen it already, I've uploaded my monthly budget setup for the month of May. And I set it up, let you know some of the things I had going on. I'm going on a couple trips this month. We set up my monthly budget. So now let's go ahead and break down the monthly budget into my actual paychecks. So if you're new here, I get paid once a month for the most part. So it was important for me to really manage my budget throughout the month because I'm not gonna get another paycheck. Side hustles and stuff like that, but like my living expenses paycheck, we only get that once a month. So even though I get paid once a month, I still do a weekly budget paycheck because I need to manage that money throughout the month. So because of that, I can pretty much make my pay period between any time period of the month. But since the majority of my bills come out like the first 5 days, I really try to do like the 1st through the 5th or something like that. So for the first week, we are going to do, I believe I'm doing the 1st through the 5th. So that'll be my pay period. So then the 6th through the whatever and so forth and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. If you've never seen this before, I'm going to walk you through each of the phases that I use for my pay day routine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to write my projected income. And the way I'm going to do that is, remember, for my monthly budget, I already outlined what I expect to bring in, so I'm just gonna go ahead and copy that right over here, girl. Okay, so for the first week, May 1st through the 5th, I'm projected to bring in $13,773. Now, if we just flip over back to my monthly budget, my projected income is $14,373. That's because it's $900 I transfer in, but I only need $300 the first week. I'm going to try to hold on to that extra income as long as I can before I need to use it. So I'll transfer that into my working account later in the month. Okay, so now we're going to move up to my bills. So my bills are my fixed bills, my mortgage, my water bill, like all those things that I have to pay. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this bill section in. Again, I'm only going to be writing the bills that are coming out between the 1st and the 5th. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've written everything in. So my bills for the 1st of the month add up to $5,457. So when I subtract my bill total from my income, that leaves me with $8,316. So yeah, we're looking pretty okay. So now we're going to go ahead and bring it down. So this is the long-term savings section. So this is if you want to add anything to your Roth, retirement, maybe you don't have debt, so you're putting more stuff towards your savings. This is the section for that. And I'm actually not going to do anything this month, and I will go over that when I do my cash stuffing. So that means I'm just going to bring this over. So my total contribution is 0. So that means I have $8,316 left. Okay. So now we're just going to carry this balance over to our variable expenses. And unlike our fixed bills, our variable expenses are the areas where we can actually decide how much we want to spend, okay? Versus the bills, someone's telling you how much you owe, and this is just you budgeting for your regular living expenses. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in, and then I'll come back and walk you through. Okay, so you may have seen me doing some erasing, so I had to make a change. I had to change my carryover. Remember, it was 8,316. I had to make a change because my business, if you remember back here in my monthly budget under business. I said I want to spend about $300 reinvesting in my business. So I just want to go ahead and account for that. Now, I may not spend that during this first week, but I want to have it in my budget. So what I'll typically do, let's say in the first week, I only spend like $50. Then when I'm doing next week's budget, I'm budgeting $250. I just want to always make sure I have the number in my budget so I can plan for it. I don't know when I'm going to spend it or those things. Okay, so that made everything drop $300. So over here, like I said, is my variable expenses. And again, I have some things I want to explain. So allowance, my husband and I get $30 a week, but I've been giving my husband his entire allowance for the month. That just seems to work out. So he's not like pigeonholed to this $30 so he can do whatever he wants. I'm still just going to take my $30 a week. My oldest is 12. He gets $12, and my twins are 10. So they each get $10 a week. That's how we get to the 182. $600 for groceries. I mentioned it a couple months ago that I've just been starting to take out my entire monthly grocery budget at once, because if I see things in savings, if there's BOGOs, if there's things like that, just doing it at $150 a week, I found that I was a little bit restricting myself when it comes to sales and deals and stuff like that. So this for me works out better, and I actually save money because I'm able to partake in some of those deals and coupons and stuff. So that way it makes it easier for me to manage my groceries through the month. Household, this is the same thing, $300. I budgeted $300 for my household this month. So again, it just makes it easy for me to have it in my budget. Now, when I do my cash stuffing, I'm not going to take out $300 in cash, but I'm budgeting for $300, if that makes sense. So gas, we spend about $60 a week on gas, a little less. Beauty, also I budgeted $150 for the entire month. I'm just going to go ahead and take that out now. Miscellaneous, $10 for my kids. You can see I budgeted $500 for this. And I actually had another expense under kids, but we'll see if I can manage that within this $300. So I have the entire $500 for that. Again, I don't plan on spending it for the entire week, but it's in my budget. Eating out, we do $40 a week. Fun, I budgeted $100, and I'm so glad that I did, because one of my sorors just invited me to a Kentucky Derby party this weekend, and the tickets and everything, she's already covered that, but I'm not going anywhere without any money, girl. So I'm so glad, which is why I said, because when I created my monthly budget, I had no real plans except probably taking my kids out. But that's why I always want to give myself a buffer of things that I typically spend money on. So I'm just going to pull $50 off of that. And shopping, the $250, again, is the same $250 that I budgeted for the month. Just putting it in the budget so I could just have it should anything pop up, because I don't know exactly like what week I'm going to actually buy something. So I'd just rather have the entire budget in there now. So that brings my variable totals to $2,152. Again, a lot of this is monthly expenses, so don't think I'm just spending 2 racks the first week of the month, okay? So that leaves me with $5,864. So now we're gonna go down to the fun stuff, which is the sinking funds and savings challenges. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this number down. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in, and then I'll be back to explain. Okay, so let's walk through. My sinking funds, I'm going to stuff $170. My savings challenges, I'm going to do $230. My month ahead, I'm going to add $150. Back to school, $120, and my holiday, $200. So there are 2 sinking funds, where there's 2 savings challenge binders that I didn't include. That's my business binder. I would typically do that at the latter part of the month, because I only stuffed that with my business income. And my new one that I started, or haven't started yet, which is my travel binder. So that also too, I will have to work in my budget. Just wanted to see, how things are going. So those 2 I'm not including in the first week. So you will see those in my future paycheck budget breakdowns. So that brings me to $870 for my sinking funds and savings challenges, leaving me with $4,994 left. So this right here is, hey, you have money left over, additional debt or additional savings. You want to add something to some other stuff. Let's go ahead and bring this down. So if you remember from my monthly budget, I said I want to pay down my debt. I'm going to add an extra $50 per week. So we're going to do that. And I think I said the credit one as well. Okay, so for this section, like I mentioned, I'm making an additional $50 payment to my Credit One card, and then I'm rolling over the remaining balance, which is $4,944. That means I've spent the entire leftover money, so $0 is remaining. This is a zero-based budget. So even though I have money left, I've already identified I'm rolling it over. Having a zero-based budget just means that you've given every dollar an assignment, so every dollar knows where it's going. So even though I'm not spending this almost $5,000, I am saving it for next week because, like I mentioned, I only get paid once a month, so I need to manage this throughout the month. So when you see I'm doing week 2, it's probably going to be higher than this because remember, a lot of these numbers, the business, groceries, etc., that's for the entire month. So whatever I don't use, I'm going to be rolling that over. So technically you will see this number a little higher than it's written here, if that makes sense. Okay, so now the last part of my payday routine is to figure out what I'm going to do for my cash breakdown. So I'm going to go ahead and fill everything in, and then, like always, I will be back to explain. Okay, I had to do some stuff offline because I wanted to make, oh girl, and I still forgot this part. I can do this real quick. I tried to do this off camera and I still messed up. I didn't mess up, I just didn't include this right here. So let me just do this real quick. Okay, I adjusted the numbers. So let me explain to you what I did. So again, I wrote all the amounts in, which is what we have over here, with the exception of for you. So allowance is the same, groceries the same, household. Even though I'm budgeting $300, I'm only gonna have $40 in cash because for the most part, I might be buying stuff online, etc. So I just wanna have $40 in cash if I go to Home Depot or something like that. Gas is the same, beauty, miscellaneous, coffee, eating out, fun. I budgeted $50, but I'm only gonna take $30 out in cash because when you go to these events, sometimes you don't know if they take cash or card. So if they take cash, I prefer to pay with cash. But if they take card, then I have a few dollars left on my card for that. And then my sinking funds and savings challenges are all right here. The amounts are the same. The amounts are the same. I just have to break out the denominations for each of the different challenges. So we are all set. Now we're down here. So all you do, how you work this sheet, once you break down all your denominations and how many you need for each category, you come down here, you have a total count. So, and it's very easy, you just come down the column. So I need $400 bills, that's 400. I needed 550s, which is 300, 40 20s, 31 10s, 27 5s, and 57 1s. So let's just make sure both of these totals add up. I wanted to do that on camera with you guys to make sure your girl was good. So we're gonna add up this way and then we'll add up this right here. Okay, so I have 1992 over here. Let's see if I get that down here. Ooh, 1902. See that? I had 1992 here. Boy. All right, let me figure this out and then I'll be right back. I don't know. I have done every calculation there is and the math is just not coming out, but we're just gonna go with, let me see, let me add this one more time. I was going with 202. It'll work itself out. It always works itself out. Even the most basic stuff, girl, be messing up. That's how you know you can do it, okay? I'm sitting here on camera talking to you about budgeting and I'm still messing up. There's hope for you if you haven't done so already. But nonetheless, we are good to go, and we're all set for the first week of May. And the first cash stuffing I'm gonna do is my cash wallet because I need my cash to, you know, go out and do the things like groceries. My husband's, the kids, everyone want their allowances. You know, I'm like, I gotta work this out for the people. I gotta let the people see what I'm doing before I give y'all the coins. So yes, I'll be doing my next video for the cash stuffing for the first week of May. So we're all set to go, girl. We are off to a good start. Everything is looking good. I'm feeling good about my budget. Like I told you, doing my monthly budget. I did forget, and I'll let you know, I did forget to include my allowance in here. And then one of my bonus kids, we had to send some extra money. So I did forget those 2 expenses in here. But like I mentioned, a lot of these numbers I did put a little buffer in. So I'll be able to hopefully make up that gap somewhere throughout the month. Or your girl just gotta work harder. Simple as that. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it provided some inspiration, some motivation, whatever you're looking for, girl. I hope I was able to provide that for you today. And yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you get that notification bell and hit that subscribe button, and follow me on my social medias, TikTok and Instagram. They're all linked down below. And like always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.